you know? I want to be the kind of person who feels it, who acknowledges it, but who doesn't let those feelings decide for me, who doesn't let those feelings control how I respond and how I react to things. And it's a practice. So like I said, it's not easy, but it is simple. When we feel those feelings and they start to rise up, we have the power to control them. All emotions are controllable, and they are controllable through our thought patterns. Are you tired of struggling with anxiety? Do you find yourself constantly worrying, stressing, and overthinking everything in your life? Do you desire to be free in your own mind again? Welcome to the Panic Meet Peace podcast. I am your host, Ashanti, and I teach believers like you how to find peace over anxiety through faith. In this podcast, we discuss strategies for managing anxiety and stress using biblical teachings and faith-based techniques. My special guests and I share our personal experiences, advice, and perspectives to help you ditch the panic attacks and guide you from fear to faith. God has already promised you the peace that passes all understanding, and I am more than happy to introduce you to that peace through today's episode. Are you ready? Without further ado, Panic, Meet Peace. What's up, everyone? It's your host, Ashanti. Welcome back to the Panic, Meet Peace podcast. I'm so glad you could join me today, and I am really excited about today's episode. I know I say that every single episode, but I really, really mean it because they're so good. And I have been free from anxiety for almost a year now, and I no longer have panic attacks, and all of these triumphs that I feel and all of these victories that I have in my life, I want to share with you because this is where everyone should be. Everyone should have peace at all times in their life, even if everything is going wrong, even if nothing is going the way that we thought it would, even when we're trying to recover from things that were traumatic or scary, we should have peace. And the peace that surpasses all understanding that God promised us is available, and it's real and it's accessible, and I want to give it to you, and I want to show you how I've accessed it all this time. Okay, I just want to make sure I said that word right. So today we're going to talk about how to regain control of your emotions with one simple change. Now, this change is simple, but it's not easy. It's going to take a lot of practice and a lot of devotion to maintain it and to see the results of it. So go ahead and prep yourself to say, I am going to practice this till it becomes a habit so that I can see the results in my life. And this change it's so easy. It's so simple that it almost sounds obvious until you apply it. And when you apply it, you're like, oh man, it makes so much sense. It's going to open up so much clarity for you. But here's the change, okay? Stop letting anxiety choose for you. Stop letting your emotions decide what you're going to do, or tell you how to react, or tell you what you're going to go through. Anxiety is an emotion, and like any emotion, if it has the control and we allow it to reign in us for too long, it can create other things in us, other issues, other mental health things, other disorders. And that's like any emotion. If you have too much anger, you have to go to anger management. If you have too much sadness, it can become depression. So like any other emotion, if you have anxiety, it can lead to, if you allow anxiety to control you, it can lead to other things like panic attacks and insomnia and other things like that. But the key thing that we have to acknowledge, understand, grasp, and do is stop letting emotions decide for us. We have to take the reins back from our feelings. And I want you to know this. Your feelings are important, okay? Emotions are energy in motion. And they're telling you something about what you're dealing with. So they're good indicators, and they raise flags, and they bring joy, and they release chemicals in your body that help you to prepare. For instance, if you feel anxious, a lot of times it is because your body is telling you, hey, there's something going on here that we need to be prepared for. And it's designed to help you be in fight or flight mode, right? It's designed to get you to be aware of your surroundings and help you know what you're about to go through, or be prepared for what's to come. However, if anxiety is in control and it's telling you over and over again what you're going to need to do, it's leading you down a path of fear, and it's costing you your peace. So for example, when I was dealing with anxiety, it started after so many things were happening back to back. I had a baby. Right after that, I lost everything. Right after that, COVID started. Right after that, I had a car accident. Right after that, I almost had a divorce. Like, there were so many things that were happening. And all the while, anxiety was essentially trying to help, because it was preparing me for the worst thing that could happen. But then I leaned on anxiety far too much, and I let it take control. And when I did that, I set myself in a panic over the smallest things. Sometimes there wouldn't even be anything happening, and I would just instantly start panicking. Or I would wake up out of my sleep in a very hot, cold sweat. And just like I said before, any emotion that we allow to have control is leading us down the wrong path. Your emotions should not lead you. They should only indicate something. They are there to help you, but it's when we act on those emotions that we get kind of careless and things kind of start happening to us. But one thing that I realized about myself when I was letting anxiety control me was that I was just as easily able to let every other emotion reign in my body too, and in my mind. So if anxiety was in control, it was easy for me to let sadness take control, and then I would be depressed. And it was easy to let anger take control, and then I couldn't control my mouth, and I would be flying off the handle over the smallest things. Or I would be all over my husband or my kids, or I would be aggressive and defensive. Because if you allow one emotion to have control, then you're going to allow all of them to have control, essentially. And it's our responsibility to take those emotions, acknowledge them when they're trying to show us something, but then to decide for ourselves what we are going to do, number one, and number two, who we are going to be. And this is difficult, especially when emotions are mixed and they're running all through your body, and thoughts are generating from those emotions, especially when we're dealing with heartbreak or trauma or anger, right? Those emotions are powerful. But I'm going to show you how to take the reins back, how to take control back, okay? When your emotions rise up, let's say somebody comes and makes you angry. You're driving and somebody cuts you off and you almost hit them, and it's a big thing, and you get angry, right? Before you react, pause, and you can even count it. You can make it 5 or 10 seconds. Pause for 5 or 10 seconds, and then decide who you want to be and what you want to do. How do you want to respond to this thing? Like I said, your emotions are not bad for you. Emotions are not bad. They're not your enemy. They are here to help. They are here to keep you alive. If you don't feel anything, then are you even alive? I saw that in a movie once, and I just thought that spoke so much to me. If you don't feel, then are you living? Are you aware? And if you do feel, that's great. It's what you do about how you feel that sets off the chain reactions that are going to come behind it. And I want to remind you of this. You can control your emotions by controlling your thoughts. I'll give you an example. So yesterday, I'm getting ready to leave for work, and I've got a hot cup of coffee in my hand. I've got my purse. I've got some papers. I've got a Stanley cup of water in my hand. So I've got a lot going on. And I'm trying to get the kids in the car simultaneously, trying to put my stuff down so that I don't spill anything. I set my coffee cup on the armrest inside my car and I go, okay, just give me a minute. Don't knock over that cup. It's got hot coffee in it. Just don't move. I'm just trying to open this door. What do my kids do? In great kid fashion, they knocked it completely over. Thankfully, not on themselves or anyone else, but it flipped over upside down and spilled entirely on my seat and below my seat and behind my seat. My initial reaction was anger because I'd already told them to watch out for the coffee cup and to wait just a minute before they start playing so I could grab it because it was just going to take me a second to set down everything else. And so when it happened, of course, I reacted and I was like, you can't do that. You have to listen to me. I get my coffee cup. It's empty. I'm still angry and I can feel myself about to boil over. And my husband comes to me and he says, hey, hold on. I'll go take the car to clean it out since I'm taking it anyway. You just take my truck. Switch everything over to the truck, get in the truck. I'm driving to work. I'm still mad because I didn't have a chance to release the anger that I felt initially, right? So I'm driving along, getting ready to take my little one to daycare, and I start to pull my thoughts back together. And with the practice, it was just like this. It's going to sound funny, but this is it. Okay? All right, Ashanti. Yes, you're mad because that coffee was good and it was hot and you really wanted it and it didn't work out. But it was your fault for leaving it somewhere where your kids could get to it. And it was just coffee. You can make another cup and it'll be fine. And every time another thought would rise up that would make me angry, I would combat it with another thought. And I would say, no, I'm not going to be angry. Today's going to be a good day. It was not meant for me to have that cup of coffee. I'm letting it go. It's not that important. The most important thing is that my kids are not burned from the hot coffee, and neither was anyone else, and it just spilled in my car. Yes, I'm disappointed because I just had my car detailed, but I can clean it out again, and it will not cause any permanent damage. This is the process that I did to take the anger down, to bring my thoughts back into control, and to align them with who I want to be. And I just want to be the kind of person that doesn't react to every single thing that happens to me, you know? I want to be the kind of person who feels it, who acknowledges it, but who doesn't let those feelings decide for me, who doesn't let those feelings control how I respond and how I react to things. And it's a practice. So like I said, it's not easy, but it is simple. When we feel those feelings and they start to rise up, we have the power to control them. All emotions are controllable, and they are controllable through our thought patterns. So, your dome work for today is every time anxiety tells you what is going to happen, because you know how anxiety affects you. You can do anything or nothing at all, and it shows up. Every time anxiety starts to rise up and those feelings start to take over, I want you to stop, pause for 10 seconds, and start rehearsing thoughts in your mind that go against anxiety. And here's just a gentle reminder for you. God has not given us the spirit of fear, but He has given us the spirit of power, of love, and of a sound mind. So all of the things that we need to overcome our emotions, God has already equipped us with. God has not given us the spirit of fear, but He has given you the spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. And that sound mind is a conscious mind that is capable of processing information and utilizing it for the best outcome, for the most peaceful outcome. And guys, this is Panic Meet Peace, right? We are introducing a peaceful thought life to this life of panic and fear and worry and stress that we have been living for far too long. And I know that God is moving and I can feel His Spirit every single time I'm speaking on this podcast. So if you know someone who is dealing with anxiety or stress or worry or overwhelm, please share this podcast with them so that we can all continue to go higher in the kingdom of God, and so that we can all have access to the peace that God has given us. Friends, thank you so much for joining me for today's episode. I pray that it blessed you, and I pray that you were helped and that you were given some motivation, knowing that emotions don't have to control you and that they can be considered, but they don't have to be the ones in control. You can decide how you want to respond to something. And I'm so glad that you could take the time to listen to me today. Feel free to leave a review of this episode on Apple Podcasts. Let everyone know what you thought of today's episode. And if you have questions or anything, my email is linked. There's a subscription link in the description for you to sign up and send emails, and I will be able to answer all of your questions. And I'm really looking forward to continually growing with you and growing in this community. Thank you so much for tuning in today. God bless.